learning this? No one ever uses it in real life anyways.
Wang Xizhi said to practice calligraphy is to experience the liberation of the brush.
Then what will you say?
I'd say it's to remind ourselves that we're capable of making something beautiful.
This was for the calligraphy lesson. They have impressive performances to showcase a tragic and a terrifying situation in a classroom. The story talks about resilience, support, understanding, and above all, the protection of children that has to come from both ways, the parents and the teachers and anyone in charge or responsible for their education and right safe upbringing. And the story is just too sad, and it's the right amount of mysterious and the right amount of suggestion of what's been behind it. And I love the performances. Again, they did a great job showcasing this, and it's just a very nicely told story.
The calligraphy lesson, I thought this was really beautiful and really intriguing, and just kind of goes to show you how much teachers can see and what they can kind of feel, but they won't necessarily have the full picture of something and how much they really care. And I think that that's such a undervalued aspect of teachers that, like I said, just in this society, I don't necessarily think that aspect of their job is really valued, of how much they really do see and spend time with your kids, but also how much they end up caring, and that when things like this happen, where clearly that was a rough interaction and probably emotionally draining for everybody involved, the little girl, the mom, the teacher, probably all of them had a emotionally draining afternoon just because of that interaction. But then she has to go on and teach another class, and she has to take that and take maybe what it changed for her with regards to what freedom really means, and move forward and continue to be present and be there for other kids and things like that. And I think that it just kind of highlighted this caring and compassion that I don't think is as appreciated as it could be or necessarily should be, that teachers give their students. But also it did bring up this really interesting idea of what freedom really means, and how that definition can change as you grow and as you have more experiences and as you're exposed to more things. That it's one of those things that I don't think has a set definition of this is what it means. I think that it's one of those kind of ideals that can shift and change and morph as you grow, and like I said, as you are exposed to more things, as you experience more things yourself. And it's one of those things that can truly evolve over time. But I thought that it brought up some interesting ideas and questions about what freedom really means.
The calligraphy lesson is about a disruption in the home and a young daughter trying to navigate and move through these things that she may be struggling from within the home. As the story starts, you see the young child using derogatory language, and the teacher notices it but doesn't necessarily call her out. She sort of goes into the presentation and pulls her later to the side and has this really nice one-on-one conversation with them. And during that conversation, these little snippets of truth sort of drops out of, you're not going to get me detention, but I want detention. And why does she want detention, right? So you're sitting there as you're watching this film being like, well, well, why is she saying that? And we sort of get this moment of the calligraphy lesson, the sense of art and therapy in itself to create this sort of expression. And this child gets to have a chance to do just that, to put pen to paper and work out whatever the child needs to work out. And as she's having a conversation with her mother begins to feel embarrassed and pretty much builds this form of shame almost. And you get to see the just generosity and the kindness that exists within the teacher, because she really comes out of her way to be like, I have no judgment here. You are the parent at the end of the day, but I am gonna basically teach your daughter tools to be able to express themselves, which I think is really important to showcase.